the Visionary Code. 5 ways to attract any girl you want. Stoic psychology, modern stoicism. True love is not about possession, it's about appreciation. Unknown. What if everything you've ever been told about attracting women was wrong? What if the well-meaning advice you followed, being overly available, wearing your heart on your sleeve, always being the nice guy, has actually been driving women away instead of drawing them in? While you've been chasing love with open arms, the men who women are truly obsessed with don't run after affection. Instead, they move with silent confidence, stand firm in their principles, and live lives filled with purpose and ambition. It's time to realize something that can change everything. The men who are the most captivating to women aren't the ones who chase validation or constantly try to please. They are the ones who are whole on their own, who are self-sufficient, and who have a quiet, unshakable strength about them. These men don't need to beg for attention. They attract it naturally, effortlessly, because they know their worth and are comfortable in their own skin. In this video, we're not talking about using cheesy pickup lines or trying to manipulate people with tricks. What we're talking about is real power. It's the kind of power that comes from within, a deep, internal strength that draws others to you without you even having to try. When you cultivate this kind of power, women won't just be attracted to you, they'll be magnetically pulled towards you, as if something intangible is drawing them in. This is the kind of power you'll learn about today, and it's the kind of power that leads to real, lasting connections. The boy code isn't about being rude, arrogant, or reckless. It's not about dismissing others or pretending to be something you're not. No, the boy code is about embodying an undeniable presence, one that combines mystery, discipline, and confidence in a way that makes people and women take notice. It's about commanding respect through your actions, not through empty words. The right kind of presence doesn't need to shout. It simply is. We all know that being too eager or overly available can send women running. The secret lies in being someone who is content and whole on his own. When you walk through life with purpose, when you're on your own path and don't need anyone to complete you, that's when others, especially women, will begin to notice. Women are drawn to men who don't just talk about their goals, they pursue them. They are attracted to men who have vision, who are driven, and who aren't afraid to stand alone when necessary. This isn't just about romantic attraction, it's about building a life that commands attention. When you embody the principles of the boy code, you don't have to try so hard to win someone over. You already stand out because you've cultivated an energy that draws people in naturally. Women respect men who respect themselves and who live with intention. If you're ready to stop wasting energy on ineffective approaches and begin attracting the kind of women you've always dreamed of, then it's time to start living by these 5 principles. These rules will not only change the way women see you, they'll change the way you see yourself. Support this channel if you want to start living with purpose and help other men do the same. Every like, comment, and subscription supports the spread of these life-changing tools. Together, we can build a community of men who stop chasing love and start attracting it through their confidence, discipline, and inner strength. Let's dive into the 5 rules that will shift everything about the way you approach relationships and self-empowerment. Number 1. Build your own frame of reality. If you want to be irresistible, you must first learn how to build your own frame of reality. This is not about simply being charming or trying to please a woman. It's about creating something bigger than her, something that has nothing to do with her, but everything to do with your purpose and vision. Women are drawn to men who are already on a mission, men who are building something bold, focused, and relentless. The men women desire most are not those who put her on a pedestal. They are the ones who have their own lives in motion, who are constantly rising, evolving, and chasing their own vision. The simple truth is, women fall for men who are already living their own lives and aren't just orbiting around them. They want to be part of a man's world, not the other way around. You need to remember, in any relationship, there are 2 options. You either live in her frame, or she lives in yours. Too many men fall into the trap of giving up their own frame the moment they feel attraction. They start adjusting, start pleasing, and make emotional decisions all in an attempt to keep her around. Without realizing it, they begin to abandon their standards, routines, values, and their vision. They give up their purpose for her presence. This never makes her love you more. In fact, it makes her lose respect. When a man sacrifices his identity and purpose just to be around a woman, he becomes replaceable. There's nothing magnetic about a man who has no direction, no frame. A man without a frame becomes a man without identity, and a man without identity can never lead. And it's this leadership that draws women in. It's the strength of a man's purpose that makes him irresistible. So what exactly is a frame? It's your structure, your world, your principles, your values, your mission, your schedule, everything that defines who you are. It's the emotional environment that you invite others into. If you don't take control of it, someone else will. And if that someone is her, then the dynamic of the relationship flips. You become the follower, she becomes the leader, and that's when attraction starts to die. Women don't want to lead you, they don't want to fix you, and they don't want to waste time figuring out what you stand for. No, they want to feel the gravitational pull of your life. They want to know that you are so driven by your own purpose that being part of your world is a privilege, not an entitlement. As a modern Stoic, your purpose must transcend the influence of any woman. You must not only know what you stand for, but live it every day with purpose and intensity. The blessing of Stoicism teaches us that we are the architects of our own lives, and that our decisions and actions must align with the vision we are chasing, not the desires of others. When you lead your life with this Stoic mindset, women will respect your frame, and you will attract those who align with your mission. You must stay true to your path with unwavering confidence and refuse to let anyone, no matter how alluring, change that direction. This is the core of old Stoic wisdom, living with discipline, clarity, and an unshakable commitment to your own vision. So, stop making her the center of your world. Instead, build your own and let her earn the privilege of being a part of it. You'll find that the more focused you are on your own purpose, the more she'll be drawn to you, not because you're chasing her, but because you're chasing something bigger than both of you. When you embrace this, you don't just attract a woman, you attract the right kind of woman, one who sees your vision and wants to share in it. A man with a purpose is magnetic, and a man with a purpose that transcends the temporary is truly irresistible. Number 2, lead, but let her follow. To attract any woman you desire, you must first master one simple yet profound principle. Lead, but let her follow. This is not about control or manipulation. It's about embodying the Stoic principles of self-mastery, confidence, and inner strength. When you lead with integrity and decisiveness, you naturally create the space for her to follow, respect, and even admire you. The key lies in balancing power and vulnerability. Like the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A man is not born for fame, but for virtue." What this means is that true power isn't about dominating others, but about mastering your own emotions, your reactions, and your purpose in life. Women are drawn to men who know who they are, who are clear about their intentions, and who walk through life with a calm certainty, traits rooted deeply in Stoic principles. Modern life is filled with distractions, noise, and confusion. Yet, your ability to stay focused on your purpose, unshaken by external chaos, makes you irresistible. Don't get caught up in the need for validation or the fleeting approval of others. Let her follow your lead because your life is worth following. You must, above all else, be the man who leads himself. He who is brave is free, as Seneca said. The true power lies in knowing that your worth doesn't depend on her approval, but on your own relentless commitment to self-improvement and Stoic resilience. You cannot afford to be passive in your interactions. You must be clear, decisive, and unwavering. Take charge of your life in every aspect, your career, your health, your mindset. If you want her to follow, you must lead by example. Show her what a life well lived looks like. Don't be a man of words alone. Be a man of action. Live according to the Stoic principles of virtue, wisdom, courage, and justice. This is how you attract and keep a woman who respects you. Women respect men who have an unshakable sense of purpose. It's that simple. Let's be clear. Don't waste time being someone you're not. Don't bend to the expectations of society. Don't wait for the perfect moment to take action. That is a fool's game. Start now. Apply the Stoic mindset. Commit to your goals and move with purpose. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. You must master your emotions, especially in times of adversity. The Stoic man isn't disturbed by the storm. He remains calm, strong, and resilient. You must learn to choose how you respond. Take control of your emotional state. She will follow a man who leads by example, who stays calm under pressure, and who remains true to his principles. This is the foundation of attraction, rooted in Stoicism. In modern life, it's easy to lose sight of your values amidst the noise. But the true Stoic man knows that the most important thing in life is living in alignment with his highest values. The woman you want will be drawn to the man who knows where he's going and has the courage to go there. Show her you're a man of substance, not one looking for shortcuts. You must live by your own standards, not by hers. Let her follow you. But first, you must become a man who is worth following. That means living a life of integrity, purpose, and strength. And above all, it means embodying the timeless principles of Stoicism. When you commit to this path, you will no longer need to chase after her. She will naturally be attracted to you, drawn to your strength, clarity, and unwavering sense of self. Lead, but let her follow. That is the way of the Stoic. Number 3. Presence greater than words. In the world of attraction, your presence speaks volumes, and it speaks louder than any words ever could. Forget what you've heard about winning a woman's heart through perfect words or clever messages. The truth is, what really captivates a woman's interest is not what you say, but who you are when you're not saying anything at all. Most men fail to grasp this. They think if they just articulate their feelings better or say the right things, they'll win her over. They're wrong. Attraction doesn't reside in texts or rehearsed speeches. It's rooted in the energy you bring into a space, in the way you present yourself, and how you remain calm, confident, and grounded even in silence. Words can create expectations, but if your energy doesn't back them up, they're meaningless. Weakness, neediness, or uncertainty don't stand a chance. In fact, they'll backfire. When your actions don't match your words, you lose more than just her attention. You lose her trust. And without trust, attraction falters. You must understand this. Presence is everything. It's the unspoken force that enters a room before you do. It's the calm, steady gaze that says more than 1,000 compliments. It's the quiet confidence you exude without uttering a word. Women feel this. They sense when a man is anchored in himself. They know the difference between a man who pretends to be calm and one who truly is. This is the essence of Stoicism. Stoic principles emphasize self-control, inner peace, and the ability to remain steadfast in any situation. It's about mastery over your emotions and knowing that true power comes from within. When you walk into a room with genuine presence, you command attention without even trying. You don't need to prove yourself, you don't need to explain, and you certainly don't need to overshare. Your very being holds the space, and that's what draws her in. It's not about being loud or flashy, it's about being grounded, calm, and secure in who you are. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, your calm and grounded presence, especially in the face of pressure, is what makes you unstoppable. When you cultivate this inner peace and strength, women will lean in, not because you're loud, but because you are resolute. In the modern world, with its constant noise and distractions, true presence is a rare commodity. Cultivate it. own it, live it. Your energy, your vibe, your inner calm, this is what truly attracts. Women are drawn to men who are firmly rooted in themselves, who don't need external validation. This is the power of Stoicism in action. Inner mastery that speaks volumes without a single word. Lead with presence, not performance. When you do, the world, including women, will respond to you with the respect and attention you deserve. Number 4. Emotional boundaries equal emotional control. Never reveal need. That's the Stoic mantra every man should adopt when seeking deeper, more meaningful connections with women. There comes a moment in every man's life, especially as he matures, when he realizes that no amount of affection, gifts, or emotional displays can substitute for the power of self-control. And here's the catch. Attraction is not built on emotional availability, but on emotional discipline. So stop confusing the two. Instead of laying bare your vulnerabilities and emotional needs, take charge of them. Cultivate the emotional strength to withstand life's challenges, and women will be drawn to you, not because you're emotionally available, but because you're emotionally steady. In the world of Stoic lessons and modern psychology, this principle stands at the core of successful relationships. Emotional boundaries don't mean you push people away or create walls around your heart. No, they're about protecting your internal energy. This inner strength defines your essence and your presence. The boundaries you establish are there to keep your emotional energy intact, ensuring that who you are remains solid and unshaken. Without emotional boundaries, a man leaks energy. He becomes desperate for validation, tries too hard, shares too much, too soon. In his eagerness to connect, he overshares and expects emotional rewards for his vulnerability. It might feel real to him, but to her, it's pressure, heavy and suffocating. That's not attractive. While you may think that revealing your emotional needs shows transparency and honesty, what it does is make her feel responsible for your emotional well-being. And women don't want that responsibility. They want a man who can hold his own emotional weight. They crave a stoic presence, someone who feels deeply but isn't looking to others to validate his emotional state. Don't make the mistake of oversharing. The more you reveal your vulnerabilities too soon, the more you risk appearing weak. Emotional neediness doesn't create closeness, it creates dependency. And dependency is toxic to attraction. Now, what exactly are emotional boundaries? In simple terms, they are the internal limits you set for yourself. They define the decisions you make about what you allow yourself to think, feel, and express, especially under pressure. That is the key to emotional control. It's about being grounded and clear-headed when others around you might be losing their composure. Emotional boundaries mean you don't overshare because you're feeling anxious. You don't explain your worth because she's distant. You don't collapse into vulnerability just to crave her attention or approval. This doesn't mean you become cold or unfeeling. Far from it. It means you are strong, you are emotionally disciplined and steady. A man who knows how to carry tension without unloading it on others is a man who commands respect. And respect is the root of attraction. A man with emotional control knows when to speak and when to remain silent. He knows how to feel something deeply, but doesn't feel the compulsion to express it impulsively. Instead, he carries his emotional experiences with grace and maturity. Women, by their nature, test emotional boundaries. It's not out of malice, but instinct. They want to see if you can hold your ground when things get intense. They want to know if you crumble when she's cold, or if you react emotionally when she withdraws. She'll be watching to see if you can maintain composure, even when the situation gets tough. Women are biologically drawn to men who can maintain their composure without demanding reassurance. So when you prove that you can stay centered, regardless of her behavior, her respect for you grows. And where respect grows, attraction naturally follows. That's the essence of the Stoic life. A man who can experience emotional highs and lows, but remains unaffected by them. He chooses how to respond. You must be emotionally independent. When you can show that you are unaffected by external emotional turbulence, you position yourself as the man she will respect and desire. And in the world of modern Stoicism, This self-control is the highest form of masculinity. Number 5. Self-respect is the ultimate game. Self-respect is the ultimate game. Don't chase, choose. The moment a man shifts his focus from chasing women to choosing himself, everything changes, not just in dating, but in life. This transformation isn't about mere attraction, it's about identity. When you stop chasing validation and begin standing firmly in your own authority, you stop seeking energy from others. You start attracting it. Chasing is rooted in lack, a mindset that says, I need her to want me to feel valuable. It's why so many men exhaust themselves sending endless texts, trying to repair the vibe, or bending over backward for affection that's reluctantly offered. What they fail to see is that each time they chase, they reinforce a message, not only to her, but to themselves. You're above me, I need your approval. And what happens when you place someone above you? They look down, not always consciously, but on a deeper, psychological level. It's impossible for someone to be attracted to or admire a man they perceive as beneath them emotionally. The blessing of Stoicism teaches that one must stand firm, rooted in personal worth, never seeking approval from outside sources. Modern Stoics know this. Women don't crave the man who's always available, always accommodating, always asking for a chance. They crave the man who knows his worth, who has standards, who doesn't just give access to anyone. Self-respect means you don't need to convince anyone of your value because you live it. You carry yourself through the world with confidence, standards, and an unwavering belief in your own completeness. You're not chasing women to feel validated or fulfilled. You're choosing women who align with the identity you've already built. And when one doesn't align, you move on, quietly, powerfully, without bitterness. The old Stoic philosophy reminds us that true strength lies in our ability to act in alignment with our principles, not in seeking validation from others. A man with self-respect doesn't chase love. He attracts it naturally through his own sense of inner completeness and authenticity. And that's when everything flips. That's when she starts to feel your absence. That's when you stop being an option and start becoming the man she regrets losing. Stop chasing. Start choosing yourself first. Always. You must live by this principle. The moment you embrace your own self-worth and stop chasing validation, you become the kind of man who attracts admiration and respect. Number 6. Own your passions, not your possessions. To truly attract the woman you desire, you must own your passions, not your possessions. While material wealth may grab initial attention, it's your purpose, your drive, and your inner strength that will captivate someone on a deeper level. In today's world, many are caught up in showing off their possessions to appear successful, but the reality is, possessions are fleeting. A shiny car or designer clothes may turn heads, but it's the depth of your passions and how you live your life that create real, lasting attraction. Embracing a Stoic life means focusing on what you can control, your values, your actions, and the way you engage with the world around you. Stoic lessons remind us that possessions, while nice, don't define who we are. They can be lost at any time, but your passions, your character, and your purpose are yours to shape and carry forward. Real confidence comes not from flaunting what you own, but from being secure in who you are. A man who knows his purpose, who leads a life full of passion and ambition, is far more attractive than someone who relies on material wealth to impress others. The Stoic mindset teaches us the importance of internal strength, confidence rooted in your values, not external validation. When you're emotionally grounded and confident in your passions, you'll naturally exude a magnetic energy. Women are drawn to men who are comfortable with themselves, who don't need to prove their worth to anyone. Another key principle is emotional resilience. In life, challenges will come your way, whether in relationships, career, or personal struggles. How you respond to adversity speaks volumes. Stoic lessons emphasize the importance of mastering your emotions. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. A man who is emotionally resilient doesn't crumble when faced with obstacles. He remains calm, level-headed, and committed to his principles. This kind of emotional strength is what makes you truly attractive, not dependence on others for reassurance or validation. Finally, the art of mystery plays a crucial role in attraction. No one is drawn to someone who reveals everything about themselves from the start. Being a man of depth means not putting all your cards on the table right away. Keep a little mystery about you. Let her discover the layers of who you are over time. The Stoic life teaches us to control what we reveal and when. Don't feel the need to expose your entire story to impress. Instead, show her that there's more to you than meets the eye, and allow her to gradually peel back the layers. This approach not only builds intrigue, but it keeps the attraction strong, as it encourages curiosity and deeper connection. In conclusion, attracting the woman you desire doesn't lie in how much you own, but in how well you live your life. Focus on owning your passions, not the things that can be bought. Be emotionally resilient, stay true to your purpose, and never be afraid to be a bit mysterious. When you live this way, you'll naturally draw the right person to you, not because of the material things you possess, but because of the depth and authenticity you exude. So take a step forward today. Embrace the Stoic philosophy and the Stoic life. Own your passions, and you'll find that the right woman will be captivated by the man you truly are. Number 7. Become her emotional challenge. Stability is the cornerstone of attraction, and emotional steadiness is what sets you apart in a world of chaos. To attract a woman who respects you, desires you, and stays captivated, you must stop being emotionally predictable. This isn't about becoming robotic or distant. It's about not flinching when the dynamics of the relationship change. In today's world, where men often react impulsively to every text, every shift in tone, every moment of silence, emotional steadiness is a rare trait, and rarity is magnetic. Let's break it down. Women are not like men. Men are often visually stimulated, drawn to immediate physical cues. Women, however, develop emotional connections through energy, depth, and contrast. The most compelling contrast you can provide? Consistency, especially when she becomes inconsistent. Here's how it works. Things go well. You vibe together. You share laughs, and everything seems perfect. Then suddenly she becomes distant. She stops texting first. She gets cold. Most men, consumed by anxiety, start to panic. They wonder if they've done something wrong, bombard her with texts, and ask if she's okay. Essentially, they try to fix the situation, and in doing so, they sabotage the attraction, not because they're bad people, but because they allow her emotional shift to dictate their own. This is emotional instability, and women are repelled by it. The man who understands the Stoic principles of emotional mastery doesn't respond to her shifts. He remains grounded. He doesn't chase her when she pulls away. He doesn't beg for her attention. He doesn't fold under pressure. He becomes the emotional challenge. This is what makes him irresistible. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle, said Sun Tzu. When you learn to embody Stoicism, to remain steadfast regardless of external forces, you win without a fight. Being emotionally steady doesn't mean ignoring her feelings or being indifferent. It means you don't let your emotions be controlled by hers. You don't need to seek constant validation. Your value doesn't change with every fluctuation in her mood or attention. By embracing Stoicism, you become the rock she can rely on, the steady presence in a world of unpredictability. And this is what will keep her intrigued, emotionally invested and drawn to you. Master this, and you will have the power to attract the women you desire. In the world of relationships, women are always looking for stability in a man, not the fake kind, but real, grounded emotional control. When you master Stoic principles, when you refuse to be swayed by the external world, you become a man who leads, not follows. Let the storm rage around you. Stand firm. Be the challenge. Become a man who embodies Stoicism in every interaction. And watch how the women you desire are drawn to your steadiness. Remember, it is not events that disturb people. It is their judgments concerning them, said Epictetus. When you stop reacting to everything and stay rooted in your own power, you will attract not just any woman, but the right woman. All right, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you really want to step up your game and attract the right woman, here's what you need to remember. Stop chasing, start choosing. Self-respect is the ultimate key. When you stop seeking approval and start standing firm in who you are, you'll find that attraction comes naturally. It's about living your value, not proving it. Women are drawn to men who are complete, not desperate. So choose yourself first. Focus on building your own identity, and the right people will gravitate toward you. Remember, a modern Stoic doesn't beg for attention. He attracts it by being true to himself. Keep your standards high, stay aligned with your values, and watch your life change. Take this advice to heart, and I guarantee things will shift for you. Stay strong, stay confident, and most importantly, stay authentic. Catch you next time.